first elimination match. So one of these two teams will go out of it. We saw it was 19-17 on Inferno. Team Unknown gave Dignitas a really strong game across the board. And then we had the GoHome team from China, who want to ideally avoid going home. Solid aim, solid style, 16-13 loss to the keyed team from Brazil.
Yep.
And it gave us a lot of confidence in the Brazilian side, right, watching that game. But then when it came to it, it started to fall apart a little bit, right? When they played Dignitas, it was like one team that's all the way up here and the other team that has definitely not been prepared, especially for that map, that style. It was Dignitas playing the game that we expected them to play when they first played Unknown. So on paper, I look at this and think Unknown should be able to take it, but if they get caught off guard by the crazy aim style that comes out of these Chinese players, I think it is actually good potential, and we're on cash. We're playing a middle ground map.
I was about to say that, a plug-in and play map where you don't need a lot of executes. That being said, though, we looked to GoHome, and they had a lot of executes on the previous previous map in Mirage. They seemed pretty well prepared and well versed in that sense. And individually, again, similar to Keystars, they look very good aim-wise. Obviously, I feel like Unknown's still coming into this one as the expected victors, but I'd say especially coming into cash, upset potential at an all-time high. This is going to be a really hard match to predict. I think it is going to come down to the wire. Very close game, regardless. I don't think it's going to be a stomp like the Keystars match earlier. What are you eyeing at, Banks?
I just on.
It's okay. It's all sorted. It's all fixed. You know, it's
I'm making sure.
We're staying subtle here, but yeah, I think GoHome could really upset this. That being said, you know, Unknown definitely a more well-versed roster, and at least in terms of experience, again, you know, they're
100%.
coming into that one with the advantage. But I won't make the bold prediction of earlier. Like I said, Keystars are going to win. I still
don't think the Chinese team will win?
Not that I don't think they will. I think they can win, but I'm going to go with a safe bet as to not embarrass myself. This is when they 16-4 them, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm an idiot. I should have committed with it. But we got a nice man on Twitter, Mr. Barbosa, telling us that Keystars apparently weren't very confident, or at least not confident, but they felt a lot of pressure from that previous game, at least going up against
there you go.
One of the favorites of the
It's
events.
exactly what I said. That is a factor, right? You're playing against the girls who are in Dignitas, who are kind of pegged to be there even in the finals or potentially winning the whole event. That's a lot of pressure. And also, remember for Keystars, this is their first big international event going into it. So respect to the guy on Twitter. Appreciate the words. It's very true in what's been said. And obviously, this is helpful when you have Brazilian fans giving us the information from Brazilian interviews that we did not know the answers to.
You don't speak Portuguese?
No, I'm sorry. It's not a skill of mine. You?
Come on, Max. Only a little.
Only a little. Just a
Vamos.
bit.
There we go. Okay. Well,
but coming on to the Unknown side, what I want to look at here is I do think they'll take this, and I do think they might have to adjust to just how they have to play against the Chinese team. Definitely. But I feel like Illa, I spoke about it on the first game. She came up and did really well. If she can have another performance like that and really stand out, we'll definitely be laughing. Petra, you speak about the experience of her. Yeah. It's just invaluable to a lineup like this. It's a good mixed team that we have here to work with, and I feel like they've definitely got the potential here. The Dignitas game proved that. But again, I'm intrigued to see Dignitas move further forward, because now they've gone through, right? They've done their job. But when it comes to playoff times, it's like, okay, we're not in best of ones, we're in best of threes. It looks a little bit better when it comes into that, but also could Unknown do well across the best of three against that? Because that was a close game on one map, but we need to see the full picture of this.
Yeah, I think it'll really put into this series will put the entire group into perspective, because then we'll have the idea of, okay, you know, if GoHome win this game, then we go, okay, we should be expecting Key to go through. You know, depending on map pick, maybe they'll want to retry Mirage and go, okay, you know, we know our mistakes, we can come back in and get a victory there, or we want to go for an upset, you know, pull in a crazy map like Overpass, although I imagine Key are going to be insta-vetoing that from now on. I hope so.
So from that tweet, though, we could divulge that actually they may be okay on Overpass, but it was pure confidence. It could be pure, just they were wrecked in that sense.
No, I don't even believe that. I didn't seem like they were ready on Overpass. They had nothing on the T side.
You went from loving them.
No, I still. Okay, I'm gonna go. I still think they can get through the group. Actually, to be honest, even if Unknown win this, I still think Keystars can get through the group as long as they play a good map. If they go on Overpass, then, I mean, what's even going to happen there? You know, another 16-4. But let's stick with this game for now, at the very least, and we'll talk more about Keystars later, because we will be seeing them play obviously up against the victor of this game to go through the group to get to the playoffs.
At least they get to watch as well, get a feel of what's going on in terms of who they might have to face and how it will go down. I know probably they'll be hoping that it gets the Chinese team through, because they at least no doubt they had the win over them on the first game. But if it's Team Unknown, they need to be looking at everything that they see here on the stream, on the games, and be able to actually check out how this team's playing.
Yeah, definitely. And again, with none of these teams having played each other, obviously from completely different regions, right? We've got an NA team, an SA team, a European team, and a Chinese team. You know, talk about a mix right there. You know, it's not like any of these teams really play each other or have played each other. Obviously, some of the players on Team Unknown will have played some of the players on Dignitas in different teams, but you know, this is a first LAN event up against, you know, any competition with this unknown roster. Obviously, we've got experienced players, the likes of Kelly, Petra, and obviously Candy from iSports or ex-iSports. But in terms of everyone else, like the Chinese team and the Brazilian team, no, they've not played these teams internationally. But either way, we're into the game banks. We're going into the knife round, so we will be having a look at what's to come. And to be honest, I don't know what's to come, Banks. Do you want to make an official prediction? I've gone with unknown.
No, I said it. I said it was going to go. Yeah, I said I think unknown will take it.
Watch us both be wrong.
No, I see like there's definitely skill there on the Chinese team, but like I said, it's down to, like you said, you didn't know much about Illa coming into this. I'd heard and seen good things from her, but she really showed up in that first game. If she could do another performance like that, backed up by the experienced players in there as well with her, like Petra, like Candy, then I definitely see unknown taking this.
Yeah, for sure.
They just take the knife round there, so they get to choose which side they want to start on. Ultimately, I never think on a cash it really matters, but you just go with what you feel most comfortable with. I think here it's going to be, don't get caught off guard, be careful of the crazy aim style. If 720 has an explosive game dropping 30 bombs again, then it might be a problem, but we just got to be realistic, right? Yeah,
again, expect the unexpected. That's to come with a team literally called Unknown, and well, they say expect the unexpected. That was certainly unexpected.
Oh, he's back anyway, so I won't jump us out of that. No problem.
Yeah, well, we're into the game anyway. bit of Polish aside, we are here. T side for GoHome. Honestly, I feel like that's not even too much of a detriment for them. You know, strong individual team, so there's always a good shot of them being able to, you know, strong on their way into this one. Straight into the pistol though, we've got Utility up on the CT side, Illa on a 5-7, Kelly on a couple of flashbangs. An aggressive mid play here for both teams. A boost up from both teams. And 720, she's waiting, but she's not watching. She might have heard the jumps. She's going to be ready for this one. Petra on the other side. Who peeks first? Who walks to their death? Because the first to move is likely the first to die. Oh, no, apparently not. Leo and 720 both going to grab a frag. 720 doubles down, and GoHome have mid.
Dominating from 720. She came out literally all guns blazing. That Glock was popping off, heads flew, and now we're sitting a 4 versus 2. Candy and Illa, the only ones that remain, was praising what Illa can do. Now it's time for her to be tested. She's got the 5-7 to play, but without the armor, the Glock can do a lot of damage to her. 720 comes in with a triple. Confident play once again from 720. She just runs around that map and wants to take the fight, no matter what.
Yeah, why not? Good start to the T side as well. Exactly what they needed to come into this game in terms of momentum. But we will see if they can carry on going forward. It's a lot of SMGs in play for the second round. Risky on a map like Cash, where you're typically going to want a couple of AKs if you're going for that mid-control, right? Obviously, you can get aggressive on the CT side, and we did see that in the pistol round, but Team Unknown aren't going to be throwing that in. They have a 3 setup on A and a couple on B with a scout as well on Kelly, so bit of an unorthodox setup here, close towards the forklift. I like this from Unknown, utilize those pistols at a close range. And with Petra on the top, and then Kim, you know, kind of playing bait on the forklift. If GoHome come out of A main, they spot Kim, they try and fight her at least, and then Petra can kind of catch them off guard while they're looking down low. But it's a very slow round for GoHome. They're holding for the default. Again, they know they're coming into this game as underdogs. They don't want to throw away these kind of rounds.
Well, 720 saw the opening, couldn't find the frag though, tried to tap away. Knows exactly where Candy's sitting. At least it gives her the information, but also GoHome know at this point that we don't have to push anywhere. We've got time on our side, we've got the weapons on our side. The only thing they've really got to be worried about is just walking into the A site where there's the triple stack. So B would be the ultimate decision, but if they can pick someone off early on and force them away as we see the smoke start to come out, give themselves a bit of coverage. Now they'll move on to B, and they do make the right decision. Kelly goes down nice and easy. Their money made for the Mac 10. 720. She can hear what's going on. Sees the first, finds the headshot, moves perfectly into the right position at the right time. Comes in with a kill onto Petra. She just makes it look so easy. Calm, calculated kills, making it work. Candy's all alone, and surely there's nothing going to be done here from Candy.
Nah, exits to the most, but we shouldn't see GoHome chasing into CT for this kill. They should just save together. Although, Leo, different idea apparently, going to run on in. Oh, Candy, that's awkward. Does go down. Not too much of an issue though. That wasn't a round that we expected Team Unknown to win. It was a safe one though from GoHome. They take 5 players into the next, so that's very good in terms of money. Talking of money, there's none on the unknown side. They fully forced and didn't find a frag, so we have no more than 2k for the CTs. Which means GoHome have a little more of an opportunity to build up that cash on the T side. More SMG kills to come through. I mean, this is that is a textbook round for GoHome. 4 SMGs, 5 kills with no deaths. That you couldn't ask for anything more.
That's the way you want to play it. That's the way you make the money. And now with Team Unknown being on just the USPs, these Mac 10s can literally run in and cause some real problems for them. Help them build up extra money. Laugh all the way to the bank. And I love the fact that GoHome is just playing it very slow as well. They're not taking this risk. Don't just run into something that can really hurt you here. And it's a stack more towards A, only one player on the B side, but they're not going too far into it. 720 is playing it exactly the way she was last time. Just poking out, getting information. Doesn't want to go too far just yet. She hasn't managed to tag or even hurt any players just yet, but she's got the information, and that's the key play.
There's the first kill. Spotted the second as well. We've got to be careful with that rifle. No reason to continue pushing first. Okay, Petra, what is going on? Illa and Petra are both getting kills, and now we're in a 2-2. This should not be this close. Luckily, GoHome should still be able to get this round with Kelly too far away to grab a gun. She's coming in through the connector where 2 players wait on the bomb site. She's been spotted as well. There's no weapons down in middle. So GoHome should have this round in the bag, and they should confidently take it as well. There it is. Simo finishes it off. 4 kills on that Mag 10. But
That's
I mean,
the way you want to do it.
Yeah, the only positive of that for GoHome is the fact that now they're not going to play an SMG round. They're going to go straight for rifles, which obviously, you know, some teams like to play the SMG rounds, but either way, a full rifle buy with 4 AKs and the UMP is a far safer buy, regardless of whether you want to make money or not. So we have rifles on the CT side now, but not a lot of utility banks. No smokes, apart from one. Ooh.
Well, this is the problem, right? When you're on that CT side, you haven't been able to like capitalize on the rounds you force up or bought some extra pistols in there. You are sat with a lower buy than expected, and you have to pay the price for it. You got to take it on the chin, but the main thing is there's not a single kit here, so they have to do the damage when they're running into the site. They can't afford to allow them to get the bomb down, and if they do, they then have to take that challenge early on. Now, I like this from the Chinese team. They're keeping the bomb at the back there. They're not making a decision just yet. They're holding it. They're still playing, grabbing this mid control, and the CTs really aren't fighting for it.
No, there's no need to. Again, they have the utility to constantly re-smoke mid, so they, you know, them playing passive is no issue at all. The issue is it allows GoHome to do something like this, and they want to split into B. Look at this rotation. 3 players on the B site. Candy aggressive in the mid, pushing back in. They don't expect it. Bit of aggression from the CT side's perfect, and Candy finds 3 kills, all headshots, shutting down the mid play here for GoHome. The worst part is Simo's stuck here with a UMP. Can't even go back and get one of the many AKs that were dropped. GoHome have to bound into the bomb site, but there's 3 players in position. 1 on the site, and Kelly will do it all. There's 1. Illa trading, and Unknown, first round on the board.
Candy with some serious control to get the job done. She held strong, she pushed out and did it slowly, didn't rush out into anything. The lack of utility didn't become a factor that hindered them in any way. And now we sit with GoHome, they can buy into it, it's not a problem. We see they've still got okay money. But when you look at the CT side, that was a dominating round. It's allowed them now to have the best buy. We've got 4 kits up on them now, so they've made amends for not having any before. But now it's GoHome, okay, how do we react to this? Because we were just dominated by 1 player. Maybe we need, when we're checking this, to make sure we're holding all the angles, right? Have a look everywhere, because there definitely shouldn't have been allowed to be that easy for Candy.
No, not at all. Just not expecting the aggression, just caught off guard. Something that, a mistake that you make once, but GoHome should hopefully not make it again. However, this time the mid control is actually in the favor of Unknown because they have the smokes to constantly re-smoke. Boost up, 720 there, nice Molotov. Petra going to be forced back, but they actually should be ready for this angle at least. They know the Molly's forced her towards the back. If they knew she was on top, maybe she walks into the flames. Questionable. But a 4-on-3 still in control from Team Unknown as GoHome now need to regroup towards this A bomb site. That seems to be the destination. They've got the smokes and the flashes for the cross. And Unknown still not confident yet. Kim's on the site, but Candy, well, she's close in rotation. They're not committed. They don't have any information because they're not aggro on B or mid, for example. They've actually given up that portion of the map. Candy's still looking to do damage there. But as GoHome regroup and recongregate towards A, pressure's mainly going to be on Kim.
Yeah, she's going to have to come away with the early information, get a frag here at least. They They've been spotted now. They know exactly where Candy is as she fires the first shot. She pays the price for it. Kim still able to do damage there, but will not be able to hold strong for too much longer. She's done enough work, though, for her team. 2 versus 1. 1-2-9 left alone. Does have the bomb, but trying to get a plant in these last 10 seconds will be real difficult because the players can just push around to her and take the fight. She needs to go for it, and she's going for the best position she can because it gives her the most cover, but they'll just run round, spray her down. They make it look easy. 3-2 now, and now the weapons are in the hands of the CT side. They're starting to find their game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is to be expected. Again, GoHome had that pistol and they got the 2 anti-ecos, but even then it was close on the USP round where we had 3 kills come through for side of Team Unknown. So it just shows, you know, this is 3-0 for GoHome should not be looked into too deep, considering, you know, pistol is a lot of RNG, and the next 2 rounds were only anti-ecos, so unequipped. But as soon as they have guns in their hand banks, that's when they begin to strike. And look at the money again for GoHome. It's a CZ, it's a UMP. We've got some utility, but that's about it. So GoHome got to be very worried moving forward. If they lose this, not only is it a 3rd round for Unknown, but it's an eco for GoHome.
Well, they're lucky that they actually got the bomb down in that round as well, because otherwise GoHome's money would be very lackluster going into this. So this is their chance to try and turn it around and at least hurt the economy of the CT. If they can take the round, they can actually push back a little bit against Unknown. But good positioning there, managing to fall back just in the nick of time. Candy unable to use the AWP to find a frag just yet, as GoHome now start to take that mid control. And they love playing it. They always want this mid control, but it hasn't worked out for them on the last couple of rounds, right? So what are you going to change up to really make the difference here? Do you try to go through CT, or do you just push it around to B, because they're not gaining that control? We start to see them. They're moving over to B. Damage being done there to Illa. She's unable to get any kills at all. She pays the price as well, and it's the ultimate price with her life. Kelly ready on the site. She hasn't taken the shots through the smoke yet. She finds the first one. Petra taken down, but it's all Kelly. She's managing to hold strong, but it's not enough. 3 versus 1. The trades just went all in favor of the T side. They're looking to claim their 4th round here, and surely Candy just goes to save it.
Yeah, right. You want to think, but they're not going to let her. Already Hazel's in the back line, and Candy realizes she's pinned between 2, so she's just got to go for a ballsy play, run into the site, see what she can do, but not going to happen. 129 takes her down, and that will be the round in favor of GoHome. So they do pick up a buy after all, James. This game starts to get a little bit more interesting now, as we do have the force upcoming from Team Unknown. I say force, it's... No, it is a force. Oh my god, I thought they have a little more money than that. One player on 5k,
Only 2 rounds of CT. It's tough. It's real tough.
Close rounds as well.
That's what happens when you're playing these tighter games. And GoHome now, they've just got to try and not just gain the control, but focus on the lead they've got. Gain as many rounds as possible, as always in Counter-Strike in general. But for GoHome, they need to capitalize on these little rounds. It can't be a situation where GoHome can afford to be forced up and lose any rounds. Like, that back and forth will never favor them.
Well, they can get a 6-2 right here if they just win this buy, because then Unknown are full eco, and they've got to wait for the buy in the upcoming round, maybe even more depending on what their economy's like. Candy, she does open up, however. This force is still dangerous, but Leo removes another player. Kim's dead in the connector, and now Unknown got to be a little bit worried. Candy's picked up a gun. Is she going to do this? She takes another frag. GoHome taking 1v1s they shouldn't be initiating when you're up against, you know, such limited weaponry with only a couple of rifles in play. Those 2 rifles are doing the damage. Kelly's on the site. A huge defense from her in the previous round. She may do it again. There's Leo dead. This is a massive round to lose if you'll GoHome, and there's only 1 player left to stop it. It's not going to happen. Three rounds on the board for Unknown as well. And I mean, the worst part about that is as soon as GoHome actually get around on the board, they instantly get just hard reset. And look at the money. 3 pistols, an SMG, an AK. Far from optimal. Some utility to work with at the very least. And Unknown still buying up in spawn. Happens to the best of us.
GoHome do want to try and affect the economy of the CT side, though, once again. And they want to try the A site. Hazel manages to get through. The smoke comes in at the nick of time. Candy spraying out 1, looking for more. The damage is being done. And this is a good hold from the CT side. A couple of kills come in. Simo's managed to find 1 for herself. She's got an AK. And with the armor, there's potential, but Illa spots her through the smoke. Up high, making it work. That'll even up at 4-4. And we also sit in a situation where they kept 3 alive for the CTs. That means they have that chance to build up a little bit more and have a more effective buy going into the future rounds.
Yeah, this was opportunity for GoHome to actually take a really good first half, but now Unknown are putting this exactly how we kind of expected in this game. 4-4 and light buy, if even you want to class it as a buy for the side of GoHome. We've got a CZ and a P250, a flashbang and a smoke. Already a quarter of that gone, and the flash is going to join it. Nade is good to Simo, but won't make a huge difference. Kelly's still posted here, and this flash may be able to catch her off guard, but it's a deep flash, and she's poised perfectly. 3 kills. That's all she needs. Trade comes in from 720, but it's a small consolation because, again, the CTs are still in control. Why peek from Kelly? Bit optimistic with that, especially when a gun was given over to this T side, but oh, Candy.
Oh.
She's bringing out the daggers. She's getting
Make
dirty.
her pay. Make her pay.
You did say Randy Candy earlier, and I definitely agree with that. That was a ballsy play.
Yeah, she went for it. She was loving it. And also, you know what that can do? Gives you the extra money. Yeah, that's one thing. But also, good way to try and tilt the other team. Mind games. Mind games across the board. GoHome, they started off pretty strong, right? They've had them rounds. They're up 5-4. It's not too bad. And then now, they find themselves on the back foot. They will come with the buy here, but that will always sit in the back of her mind now. They're willing to play for them crazy knife rounds.
Yeah, it just shows confidence on Unknown again coming into this game. They almost took down, Dignitas, who, while it was a bit of a shaky first map, it was a great performance from both teams, and Unknown now knowing that they can realistically get out of this group still. It's not over, of course. Just because they lose one game versus the best team in the group, it doesn't mean that this chance in the group stage is over. Obviously they've got this team to go through, and then Keydstars, which is a whole hassle in and of itself. But seeing how inconsistent Keydstars are with their victory earlier and then their loss versus Dignitas, there's a question mark there. But we're not even to that match yet, James. We're still in this one. Still a very good opportunity for Team GoHome to take this victory. They're on the T side after all. It's still close. Theo quick into middle. There's the first. Still a player in close mid after that boost went through, but 720 going to follow up. So mid control the way of Team GoHome. They have a 4-on-3. Candy stuck in the smoke, but she's going to give away a position with the orb. Doesn't matter. Hits a shot anyway. Second shot. Going to connect. She hits the no-scope. And there's Simo, 1v3. That round has fallen apart. 30 seconds left, and while Simo grabs 1 kill, she's on 6 HP. Bombs drop back towards middle. I mean, if she's going for this, she's got to go for frags. Either needs to run back and grab the bomb or needs to find the 1v2. Timing gets the better. Because Kim gets away into main, right as Simo pushes up to the site, so she doesn't spot that player crossing along. And Simo going to try and look for another frag. There's just no time left. 10 seconds up. If she went for the bomb, there may have been a chance, but I understand her hunting for the kills. The issue is, Team Unknown, they're never going to show both players at once. That will be the round going the way of Unknown. So, a tactical pause coming in. I would assume to be that of Team GoHome's. Again, they've had a couple of issues. Simo going to survive with the gun, and that means she gets no loss bonus, but at the end of the day, it's an eco here for the GoHome side. They've only got a few $1,000s to play with, so not a round you want to force, really. Even around this one rifle, you could get Galil armor, UMPs, etc., but with only the maximum potential of 2 AK-47s into this round, if they bought up armor with it and instead of dropping them over, definitely not a good decision to make if you go home. You're barely winning these rifle rounds, let alone these force buys, so allow Unknown to get a 7th, buy up next round, you'll have very good money considering max loss bonus takes effect, and, anyone's game.
Yeah, it's still close, right? We've still got rounds to work with. We haven't seen 720 actually be able to open up too much here, right?
Yeah.
She's been shut down a couple of times. She had the early rounds that made work for her, but ultimately she's in a situation where actually she's kind of not met her match, but she's being met with the same firepower and the same aggression back thrown at her. It's never an easy thing to deal with, and it is good though that we are seeing the timeouts being used a little bit early on, right? We're not sitting there and it's getting too far deep there. They're using it, they're playing it smart. This is the right time to do it. And it gives you a chance to just completely try and find your way back in.
Well, I wonder what they will be discussing coming into this one. Team Unknown, probably pretty comfortable at the moment. We've not really seen too much from Team GoHome. Obviously, they picked up some early rounds, but the first rifle round they actually went for a straight-up reset straight after, so Team Unknown didn't have too much of a hassle with that. No investment going to come through as of yet, but I imagine we'll see something, especially considering max loss bonus is coming into the next round, and you don't need $6,000 to buy up on the T side. 4,500 or 4,800 will do you fine if you want just an AK with full utility. Obviously, they might pull in that AWP. We've yet to see that on the T side of this map. And Candy obviously been pretty prolific with that gun already. 12 and 6. She's getting knives. She's getting no scopes. She's confident.
Oh, yes. And that's the thing that we loved about watching Candy on Inferno, was just not just how she was playing in Orb as the positions and stuff, but it was more how aggressive she could be. She was willing to take the risky plays, or almost like, I'm not going to compare it to Simple, but you know, that kind of style, like just the raw
just
confidence.
Crazy, unpredictable man.
Well, I'll push through smoke. Oh, I found 2 kills. No problem. It's just any other day for me.
As you would expect, though, she's 12 and 6, top of the team. And now we go back into the game, so the unpause called, and we've got, as we expected, pistols, armor, some utility. Nothing too heavy here for GoHome. It seems like their buys have been pretty understandable. And if we look back to most Chinese teams, male teams specifically, Tyloo, we look at that team, it's just a mess of buys sometimes and communication. Obviously, this is a full Chinese team, one Hong Kong player, but wouldn't make a difference in communication. So it should be okay for GoHome in terms of knowing what they're doing with these buys, and this is fairly safe as well.
Yeah, a lot to be worked with here for the CT side. They know they've got the upper hand. They just don't want to be caught off guard. And Illa's come through vents to do damage, finding herself 2 frags, not overextending, just falling back in towards the B bomb site. And she's just looking for more players to come push her. Samo does have the AK in hand. She makes it work. She does get taken down, but a lot of damage has actually been done to Kelly. She's got to be a little bit careful. Nicely done. Hazel's come all the way around, but to find 3 more players, yes, you've got the Molly and the AK now, but you've got no armor, so you're going to take a lot of damage early on. And 3 CTs versus 1 T. I don't really fancy her odds in this. See how much damage she can do. She's not looking up high just yet, and Petra's waiting to come out. There's one in the vents as well. She's fully closed in at this stage.
Yeah, not an easy situation to get yourself out of. But they are just starting to check their flank, aware of the possibility that Hazel's walked out of B. She's been given a lot of room into this round. They're actually playing retake on A. I'm surprised how passive Team Unknown are playing considering the situation, but it's good to see that. They don't want to overface, and they don't know Hazel's got an unarmored AK. As soon as this bomb goes down, they'll be fully ready for this one, and Petra pretty much is. I mean, if timing gets the better of Hazel, Petra will just wide peek this angle and be able to take it down. As Hazel looks for the frag, won't be able to find anything. Still Unknown don't know where she is. But that will definitely give it away. That's not what you want as well, because now Petra can even just contest this. That nade, the push with it, I mean, that literally gave the round away, because without the drop, she would have got the plant, and Petra would have been too late to jump onto the site.
That's tilting, though, to miss the jump, to make the noise, to give away your position when you've just snuck around, right? So you
for
came
a whole
from
minute as well.
Yeah, you came from the entry to B, then you walk around checkers, you got yourself your gun and everything, and then you kept walking, dancing around back and forth, trying to find the CT going aggressive. And instead, you then just mess up the jump, and it costs you your chance to just get the bomb down right and get a plant in for your team.
You do hate to see it, Banks. Nade up towards top mid. Leo barely tagged, actually.
CSGO nades.
Yeah, love it. CZ up on Simo. Obviously, saved a gun a couple of rounds ago, so she has no money into this one. Petra and Candy going to be opening up in middle, so the boost comes through, but it goes no further. Petra shuts it down, and Candy will also have her back in the garage. So Team GoHome already 2 players down. Make it a third, and again, this is just no trading. This is just people trying to take individual fights, and it's exactly what happens. Unknown are going to win those gun battles. Team GoHome's showing nothing on this T side so far in this buy.
Yeah, it's become a little bit stale, right? We're seeing the same style, like, oh, let's go for mid control, and then let's go to a site. Okay, that can work, but the fact that Unknown aren't contesting it means that they never lose a player in that situation. And then when they do push onto the sites, you then have to take the fights, and then that's when it gets difficult for GoHome. They end up in these situations like you see now, 4 versus 2. And Unknown, they're not even having to push aggressively, right? You're just holding an angle, holding a position, letting them come to you.
Well, like lambs to the slaughter. 2 last T players walk up towards the A bomb site. GoHome in a very stuck spot right now. Tag comes through, finish off by Kim, and with that, the bomb down in the open, 30 seconds left. Hazel has to retrieve it, but I say good luck. Orp's there. Candy's not going to miss that shot. 2 kills for her in that round, and an 8th on the board for Team Unknown. Still looking confident, still looking good. No real holes in their defense so far. Team GoHome, though, I mean, we've not seen much in terms of standard A execution. You could go very basic here and just, assuming they know the smokes, I hope they do, throw smokes over A. Just go for your standard A execute. If you look to their Mirage, that's what they did. They just hit a lot of A bomb sites with smokes, and it seemed to work out quite a lot, actually. So, it's not too hard to just get a few smokes over A and go for a standard play, but we haven't really seen that. We've just seen them walking into mid to their death.
Could we just see a rinse and repeat of the previous rounds, though? The Galil up on 129, everyone else on CZs, and I almost think like, okay, even if you had the money, why invest the Galil into this round? Could it be the one that comes in and changes things around as they sit and burn all the flames and nothing is happening? Kim, Candy, Petra just hold that A-bomb site. No problem at all. Nothing even to get too excited about from their end. That was just an easy round for them to claim.
Seemed like an eco.
Yeah. And like normally you expect, right, in the force up, see a bit of back and forth, see a bit of firefight. That Galil was, again, rendered null and void. There's just no point to it at this stage. Now we do have Hazel up on the AWP, though. Can she challenge Candy? That's key. If they can pick Candy off on the A site, manage to get a bit of an opening here. Well, you can see Candy actually towards middle at this stage. Maybe that gives them a chance to further push forward.
Well, Candy's ready and waiting, but Hazel's not the one on the boost. She's outside of B looking for the pick, and Team Unknown not giving her it. Again, I think GoHome need to give up middle. It's been Candy all day across this area of the map. She has not been missing her shots this game. Go for that A play. Go even just rush into B. Just do something to catch Unknown off guard, because all you're doing is running slow mid plays. And look, there we go again. They go into middle, kill from Candy. Hazel, if she trades this, that's great. So there's a frag at least. GoHome have something to play with. But where do they go with this? They have a play outside of B, so I'm expecting that Vents drop again, but it's been Team Unknown pretty effective on this B site. Kelly's been hitting her shots especially. So GoHome looking for this B split, but you typically want the bomb to come in through B main, at least 2 players coming from each position if you're in a 4-on-4. And that's exactly how they'll approach it. Illa. At the back of the box. Yeah, wrong team. They're not going to check it. There's one. Second comes in. She may go down. In fact, she finally will. Simo wasn't ready for that one at all, but luckily she had no ammo. Reload came through. Flash as well. And Simo, she needs to take down this player on the side. They need to win this round, because otherwise it's going to go out of control. There's the frag, and bomb can go down.
She backed up by Hazel, though, AWP in hand. The bomb will be planted. No, she won't get away in time. Just as the bomb went down, she gets taken out of it. Hazel's going to have to come up with 2 huge frags here. But if they push her together, she's in a real difficult situation. Kim, though, has been found. It's all up to Petra. 1v1. Is Hazel going to be ready for it? Just comes around the side, looking the wrong way. Petra finds it to make it 10-4. And this now, okay, they got the plant down. That's some good money, at least for the T side. They will have the buy into it, but that was their strongest chance in a while, and they still couldn't make it work.
Yeah, again, they've not once got a bomb plant on A, apart from that one round where it was a 1v2 and she got pushed in the last 4 seconds while planting. So, as far as I'm aware, Team GoHome haven't even really tried anything different other than these B splits. It's just been B split after B split, and if they go for it again, I mean, they're probably going to have the same success. Hazel's got a good spawn there. She can go for a pick, at least try and get an early frag regardless of your late round strategy, and that is exactly it. Illa dead. So there's a pick. Now they can definitely consider the B split because they've got that player advantage. But Kelly, so close. There's the trade. Great angle, great shot. As now Team Unknown pull it back. One of the better players on Team GoHome down as well. So that's not a situation you really want to be in.
Yeah, they're certainly on the back foot here. Can Simo maybe decide to pick out that AWP and try and fire back? When you're going up against a double AWP setup, she could try and take that one down and push their way if they wanted to. But still, the rest of the GoHome team, they're not having any impact towards the A site. They're middle and A, and then they're not really doing anything again. It's just slowed right down, and you're not going to win the rounds here. You need to find the openings.
I'd love to know the plan here, right? Are they trying to bait out utility on B so they can go for a late round B play? Because they're throwing all their nades onto B, but now they're going towards the A site, so they have no utility left for this play. Candy going to shut down 129, and she was alone. No teammate to trade. The player on highway now spotted with a flashbang, but Candy misses the shot. She still needs to make up for this. Flick can't connect. Simo takes it down. So GoHome do hit that A site and they succeed, but it just makes me question their B play there. Obviously trying to throw a bit of a fake, but a very off push towards that A site because they didn't have, any trades coming in. They were just late 1v1s that luckily they won, but it's not a safe round by any means. Luckily they will be able to hold on to the post plant, it seems, though. Kelly, last player standing, and she'll go down. So they win the round, but I mean, from an actual analytical standpoint, it wasn't a perfect round. They just won their 1v1s, and whenever they tried to do that,
on that.
Yeah, whenever they tried to do it on a B, it didn't work. So
another 10-5 though seems to be the key scoreline throughout these groups.
Pretty much, right? Although a lot of these 10-5s have been going in favour of the T side. Yeah.
This time around, we've all changed, and I think Unknown, at least now, going on to their T side, they can feel confident that they should be able to kind of fake their way onto the sites and cause a bit of confusion here for the Chinese team.
10-5 up though, and yeah, I mean this game's not over by any means. GoHome still have a understandable scoreline. You know, 5 rounds on the T side isn't the worst. Obviously, it's pretty equal this map, but you are coming into this game as the underdog. Assume you can pick up pistol, bolster your rounds by a few more. That's good. But take into account they won pistol on first half, James.
Yeah,
so they got 3 rounds for free.
They only got 1 buy round.
That is a bit ridiculous.
All they won was 1 buy round.
Well, let's see if they can pick up a pistol.
They're going to need the pistol here for sure if they want to have a real good fighting chance going further forward. But if you win both pistols and still lose, then dear God, God help you. Unknown though. Petra, how are you able to get this far without being spotted?
With 3 players on the site as well. What's 720 doing? Switching weapon in the middle of the site. No information. Simo trades 1, making a double, but it's not enough because again, Team Unknown trade effectively. That's exactly what to GoHome struggled with on the first half.
Yeah, that was just an unacceptable situation that you can get to Forklift and then push further into the site, and the CTs have no idea what's going on. They were so turtled up in that site that they deserve to be punished like this. And now we sit with Hazel on 9 health, Leo on 7. They're taking these long duels and they're losing out to Glocks as Candy with the USP in hand will put the numbers on the board. Kelly finds the final one, 11-5, and Team Unknown. That was just GoHome leaving it basically open, way too open.
Definitely seems to be the case here. Maybe a 4 spike can come through, but I'm not sure how much it can accomplish. A lifeline for GoHome, which was that pistol round, has gone away. So now Unknown looking good to take a potentially even 13-round lead before we have rifles in the hands of GoHome. This is the round to win. Next one they won't, but they're not even fully banking on it because Hazel's saving for the AWP. Not that I criticise that at all. It's nice to see they're at least planning to go for the buy and not just forcing till the game's over. But how much can they even get done with these pistols? 3 armed players, Leo just on a 5-7. They do have the A stack, but GoHome Unknown are far from committed at this point in time.
Kelly waiting to burst onto the A site. Little do they know there's 4 CTs waiting for him. With a few CZs in play, 1-5-7 up on Leo. Can they get anything done here? Petra already doing a bit of damage. Trying to find the kill. Simo down on 4. The Molly's going to force her into Petra. Hook, line, and sinker. Kelly, though, unaware of where Leo was, didn't have it truly checked out, but it's still not really going to be that worrying for him because it's 3v1 now, as it all went in favor of the T side. Unknown making the magic happen, and it's now all up to Hazel with just a USP. You've just got to say, there's not much you're going to get done here. You haven't really got the chance going into this, and she's going to at least try and play to get something out of it. She's not giving up.
Well, why not? Get a bit of money. $300. Kill Illa. She's low, maybe, but she's been spotted. That should be it. There we go. Candy makes up for it. So, Unknown 12-5. So some damage done by GoHome, but again, it's 12-5 banks. Things are falling apart here for the Chinese team. At this point, if they don't pull things back, they are going to be going home after just 2 maps here in Katowice.
Yep, they had that good first game, right? It was close. It was on Mirage. They played the Brazilian side, but now they've come up against the Russians of Team Unknown, and they're paying the price for it. So we see again, even the buy here, right? We know Hazel's saving. They're all pushing out into A main. Now that's actually good. Illa's gone down. They might be able to grab themselves a gun. So if they just go in for the 5-woman push across the map, then they might be able to make it work. Further damage being done as Leo does find Kelly. That is just going to be, I believe, 2 UMPs. I think Kelly had a UMP on her as well.
Well, bomb down is certainly doable, but
by
any means, do not think this is an easy round for GoHome. They've got no armor. The 2 players who have guns are low anyway, so that's questionable in and of itself. 2 of the better players on the team, though, for sure. Team Unknown have so much utility and still rifles to play with to hold onto this site, so this should be theirs still. But if we can see the CT... What?
Wow.
Did we just get 4 kills in a second?
Massacre.
Oh my God.
2 players pushing from both directions at different angles and then 1 going separately. And they just got dominated.
Wow. I mean...
I haven't seen that many times.
Yeah, poor observer there. There's nothing you can do about that. 4 kills at the same time. Always hate to see it, or not see it. 13-5 for Team Unknown. We have the AWP out. Hazel's been saving since the start of the map, pretty much. Not map, half. So she has got to land play at the very least. She's gone towards the B-bomb site, but Unknown, it's going to be a quick A play. Through smoke, flash in. What is Leo doing on top of the box? Boosted up. It's going to be 720, but only 1 frag. And Kelly with 3 kills into the site.
how often does that Shroud position cause so much damage? And this time around, they were red like books. The explosive A push, and they got destroyed.
Can I just say, it wasn't caught on camera, but you know that boost was a run boost on the top of red, right? That's why that other player, because you don't have time to boost your Shroud, right?
Yeah.
So what you do, if those run away, you see E-Box there on the screen with Candy. You jump on E-Box, you jump from E-Box on top of the ladder, you go across a catwalk, you jump on the red box, one of you, the other person's on the catwalk, they jump on your head at the same time you run, and then you jump off the head of the other person, off the red box to Shroud boost. That's how they did it. Very hard to do, very hard to master, but it shows that this team's done work on this map at least.
Yeah, very Pub Master style, the old school running team, showing us the skills of how it can all work, and that stuff still gets used today. It still works. Now, Hazel will be the only one that survives. It's the 14th round now. She's got an AWP in hand. If you're the CTs, you just force, surely, because you're not going to play for overtime at this stage. You've got the AWP to work with. Let's just go for it. Let's just try and make something happen here.
Yeah, you don't play for overtime unless you've got at least 11, 12 rounds, to be honest. And wow, this is it? Well,
Proving us wrong. We're going to win this as well, most likely.
Yeah, right. 60, 1915. This is optimistic, but I mean, you know, at least they accept that they won't get anything done with pistols. Because realistically, if they force this, they're probably still going to lose. That's the thing. There's no easy way out here for the CT side. At least they know when they get to rifles, they have a chance to actually win a round. Because, you know, Unknown have been so good so far. So GoHome aiming to play with rifles rather than pistols. And I respect that. You know, it's going to be hard to pull a 10-round comeback, but I won't blame them for it.
But Hazel then needs to save that AWP as well, because that's going to be pivotal in the next round. So she's actually rotating over to B at the moment. I applaud the confidence. I don't agree with the decision. Nade's going to go out. Leo's going to eat that.
Or
not much. CS go nades as per
nades,
usual. Just
classic.
Don't work.
Oh, I love that wallbang from Hazel. That kills someone under heaven if you
Ooh, it's actually it's a doable shot, but she's not doing it at the right angle.
To kill
yeah.
Oh, careful! They might lose this. Candy's chasing it. Oh, Candy!
Why did you tried to run away when you knew she was facing you? Had no chance to run back into CT. Then 25 for 8, as you just pointed out, Hugo. That's insane, Candy. She said, okay, 720, I saw you do that 30 bomb. Well, we ain't going to have as many rounds to play, but I'm going to get 25 in 21, so I'm showing my stuff on another level.
25 and 20, she might even get more this round, thanks. She might get 5 kills this round.
It's still at the 30.
If she hits 30 in this, that's a disgusting
I'd be saying if I'm Team Unknown, like, okay, everyone sit in spawn, Candy, go.
Yeah, go.
You got the 5, man. You got it.
Well, a last-ditch effort for GoHome to keep themselves in this tournament. They've got double AWP to play with, they've got utility to play with, but do they have the hope? There's the first. 129 takes down Illa. Flash towards B does help at least in forcing that player out, but they have a player stuck on the sandbag and she'll just get wrecked. Kelly decapitates 129 in response, so we're back down to a 4-on-4. Team Unknown walking into B. And there's one player close to worry about, that is Simo, but I'm sure Petra checks this. Surely Petra checks this. She doesn't. Turning back around, still hits a shot.
It's easy headshot for her as well. She quickly turned around, manages to take it 4v3, so it's not unwinnable with the double AWP setup in play, but it has to go huge here for the CT side. And they'll take that B bomb site with no problem at all. There's literally no resistance on the CT side.
No. Running a solo B doesn't work when your player gets decapitated before you even spot the T's pushing. That was the smoke being down in B main, stopping Simo from having any information. Now it's just 720. Can she hit some 720? No scopes, no. Kelly finishes her off, spinning in the air. And a Team Unknown, 16-5. They will be knocking Team GoHome out of the tournament. I'm not even going to make the joke, Banks.
Yes, it's too easy at this stage, right? We've sat there with it. We've gone, okay, this is the normal way it's going to go. But a game where Team Unknown have proven it that they can do it, right? They took Dignitas to that very close game. They've shown that, okay, we do want second spot in this group. Now Dignitas have gone through. First of all, we're sending the Chinese team home. Now we've got to take the Brazilians on. Now, I actually think that's going to be a good game to watch. But if you see a performance out of Candy and Illa again like that, we will sit in a situation where I don't think Keed's firepower can match that alongside, like, so firepower might match up evenly to a point. But then when you add the tactical side, then I just give Unknown the edge going into that. We got a real exciting game on our hands again, and this group's been pretty blessed with that. Like, right, we had the first Dignitas game that went all the way. Dignitas then got through and did it in a very convincing fashion. And now we're potentially seeing Unknown now have to kind of battle back against the Brazilians and try and make it work. But I got to give it up to Candy. She shut down Hazel every single time.
Yeah, if Candy shows up like that in the next map, this is going to be a scary feat for Keydstars.
But so we heard from the Brazilian guys tweeting us.
Yeah.
He was saying, okay, the Keydstars team where they were scared basically, and I think fair enough. Okay, I can respect that. But now this is your last chance. You cannot be scared against Unknown. You may see him just do 16-5. Try and get a map you're comfortable with. Try your best to play the game you focused on. Ignore all the pressure. Like you've got your country behind you clearly, as we're seeing from the community shouting and praising for him. But this is your last chance. You cannot allow yourself to be scared.
Again, you say pressure, right? The pressure's not. I mean, if Keydstars go 0-2 in this group, no one bats an eye because it's a team that comes from an undeveloped region in terms of CS.
The pressure is on the fact that how much time they put into this, though, right? They've been boot camping since before WSG, right? So they've put their time in. Ultimately, in their own minds, we've done the prep, we've done the time, we've practiced hard, but you've got to now make it work, right? So this is their last chance to show that it's paid off. And if it doesn't, then it's coming back to the drawing board. Or do we make a change? Or how do we battle back against these other teams that we're not used to facing? Like, because that is what's catching them off guard.
Well, we will see. The last map of Group A is coming up next. I think it's going to be the best game of the day. Of course, we've got Vivo Keyd up against Unknown in just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes.
Are we going? Are you okay? Are you okay, Max? There we go.